Hi there, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today we're going to talk about how to use UTM parameters inside your ad platforms to be able to double the quality of the leads you send to your clients. Let's dive in. All right, so let's talk about the kind of progression of an agency from being beginners all the way through to being very good at what they do and being able to know for certain that when you generate a certain number of leads for a client, they're gonna get a certain number of closes and make a certain ROI from the leads delivered, right? So what happens when we first start out as lead gens is that we start generating leads from maybe one traffic source and one type of ad. And an example of that might be on Facebook, that might be the traffic source, and you might have lead ads and you're sending the lead ads to the client and they're trying to work those leads and they're trying to get an ROI from those leads, all right? But what happens over time is that maybe the client says they're not the best fit, they don't really work, they're not converting, and then you go into a quiz funnel, or then you go into an advertorial, or then you try YouTube, or then you retarget on the Google Display Network. There's so many different options as lead gens to be able to get leads for the client. But sometimes what we don't do is be transparent with the way that we're able to pass those leads on to the client, right? So whereas we've got Facebook lead ads, advertorials, we've got YouTube ads, we've got GDN retargeting ads, we've got Facebook retargeting ads, and all of them just get bundled up into one massive package that's passed over to the client, and they just work every lead the same. All right, and the big problem with that is that there's going to be, it's like the 80-20 rule, we've all heard of that, right? There's going to be some leads or some traffic sources or some type of retargeting ad or whatever that's going to get a much higher ROI for your clients than the other ads, right? And if they're all thrown in together, then they're never going to know, and they're never going to be able to feed back to you what's working and what isn't working. And then you can make changes accordingly. It's all data at the end of the day. So what I've decided to do today is give you a video from Graham, my account manager, who's going to show you how to kind of dynamically pull through all of the different kind of sources that you need to be able to pass on to the client into their CRM so they can feed back to you exactly what's working and what isn't working. This is going to be a real game changer for you, and your client is going to absolutely love you for it. Okay, if you pick up the phone to them and you say to them, Mr. Client, we've been working with you for a while, and what we found is that we're trying all of these different types of ads, and we know for a fact that some of them are going to work better than others. And what we want to do is be able to be transparent with you and pull all of that data through to your CRM, and then you're going to tell us what's working and what isn't, and then we'll push more spend to what is working and we'll take away from what isn't working. All right, and this might sound like a super simple, idea from us as an agency, but when you actually communicate that to the client, they're going to absolutely love you for it. All right, so please do take my advice if you can. Watch this screen share from Graham and reach out to your clients and tell them exactly what you're going to do. They're going to love you for it. Enjoy.
Cheers, Dan. As Dan was speaking, we use UTMs to basically bring through what data comes from the ad, which is basically the campaign name, ad set name, ad name, the campaign, the placement, the source, all that kind of stuff. Now, what you're seeing on the screen right now is the string that we use. The string we use on our Facebook ads, which is here. And that kind of has dynamic text, basically. So this will bring through the campaign name, the ad set name, the ad name from Facebook, and then the placement. So that's, newsfeed, mobile, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And the one below is what we use on Google. So I can give you both of these. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to be doing the Facebook one. Show you. So there's a link here. This is kind of what you can bring through that's dynamic. I like using dynamic parameters better because it just means you can add the same string to every single one of your ads without having to change anything and you just change all the stuff at kind of campaign, ad set, and ad name level when you're naming them, which is a lot easier than remembering to go into each ad and change things over like that. So that's why I use that. Beauty of this is, especially now with the iOS update, Facebook is not very accurate when it comes to tracking, and you might have the right amount of leads in your dashboard, but what we found is that it's often attributing to the wrong ads, not where they actually come from. So they're kind of guessing which ad they come from. What I'm about to show you will let you be able to really delve deep into the data and make better decisions when it comes to your media buying. So you have that string, you attach it to your Facebook ad. So when they click off your Facebook ad and go to your site, that data should be in the URL bar. So I've done a little example for you guys here in Leadshook. It's very simple. Just what industry do you work in? I think I've got to change one thing here actually. Let's go solar. Cool. So what you want to be making sure you do is obviously attribute it to a custom field, which we have done. Industry is the custom field we're using, and we've got the answers that come through. So we want to make sure that's all set up in your Leadshook on each node. I will speak about unbounce after this, but we're just starting with Leadshook. So that's all good. I've set up a UTM value shown. When you do it, don't have this, delete it. This is just to show you that it's collecting the data correctly before we move on. So I've got the bits of data that we're going to be sending through here. And then I have a redirect page, which sends you to a unbounce page, which then has your data being pushed through. And you'll push through all your data, basically. And just to show you, this should match what's on your unbounce page in the hidden field, and this is the Leadshook parameter that you want to bring through, or the Leadshook value, shall I say. And I'm just going to quickly, I've just realized I've done squares rather than these, so bear with me here. I'll give you this string as well to add to your Leadshook trees. You can add more. You should be adding every single bit of data that you get to the redirect string, just so you can collect as much. This is how we get the results page to work. So you can bring through all their questions and answers to the results page on your unbounce page, and then you can match that to their email, name, and phone number that they put in on the results page. So when it gets to your CRM, you have all their answers and their contact details as well. So that's done. So let me show you how this works. So what we want to do is we want to go and replicate what would happen coming off of Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to go direct link, and I'll pop that out. Now before we start, I'm going to pop in the string. So let's say the campaign name was campaign 1. The ad set name was ad set 1. Ad name was ad 1. Facebook placement will be Facebook desktop feed. Okay, so press enter. Now this mimics what would happen if this was your link on Facebook and you had those this string set up. 1 second, I forgot to add in the question mark. Cool. Perfect. Okay, cool. So this should work now. So we've got the one question that I've just set up, which is whatever you want, and you want to have as many questions as you've got on your Leadshook decision tree. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to click roofing. We go through, and as you can see, the values are being collected inside Leadshook. Now, what you want to make sure you go and do before to make sure it's collecting it, you want to go to custom fields in Leadshook, and you want to go to answer, and then you want to make sure you've set up custom fields for every single UTM that you're bringing through. So placement, and then these four. You can name them whatever you want. They should be text, required note, all that kind of stuff. So you want to create those in Leadshook, and then it should capture all the data from here, which you can see it has. So I'm going to continue on. We get to the redirect, and we exit to the page. Okay, cool. So as you can see, we're on the page now, which is all good, and it's brought through all the correct stuff, and it's also brought through our answer to our one question, which was at industry, which you should also make sure that's in the redirect URL. Now what we want to do is we want to go set up this form correctly. Okay, so this is the unbounced calendar. We're going to go and edit, and now you want to go and add. So double click on the form. You've got the one question here. Now you want to go and add in all of the fields that you have up here, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of hidden fields. So first one is UTM source. Now this field name has to match this bit here. So forget about everything else. It has to match the thing before the equals, which is that. That's how it's going to collect it in this form in the back end, okay? So you want to match it exactly to that. So, UTM medium, UTM content, UTM campaign, and placement. I always make sure I don't capitalize the fields. I would never do that, just so it's easier for you. So that's all of the tracking UTMs that we've used inside Facebook. We also want to bring through the questions that we've just answered. Now, if you're going straight from a Facebook ad to an unbounced form, you would still need to do this exactly how I've done it. You just wouldn't need to add the questions in because you're just getting the tracking parameters from the Facebook ad. Because we've gone from Leadshook then on to unbounced, it's always preferable to capture all the data in history. Cool. So now that's set up. I'll press done. So that will collect everything in the back end now. So what I'm going to go and do is going to go and republish this. So now I don't know how you're transferring your data from unbounce, or if you're just using Leadshook, you can have a redirect node or a webhook node to webhook your data into somewhere else. For the purpose of this video, we're going to do it in unbounce. If you're unsure how to do it in Leadshook, then leave a comment below and I can maybe do another video on that. But in unbounce, what you want to go and do is you want to go to integrations. Okay, so now they have a lot of integrations that you can use. You can use Zapier as well, which is epic. You just go into Zapier and find unbounce. You just trigger it on a new form submission, and then you can populate it all nicely like that. I'm doing it the webhook way, which is probably a little bit more harder, but I think it's good for you guys to know because this is how you would do it in Leadshook as well. So I wanted to try and make it similar. So I've set up something in Zapier, which is a webhook, and I've done a catch raw hook. I may actually want to change that to a I'm going to change to a catch hooks, sorry. And don't want to put a child key in. And basically this is going to be the hook that I want to use. So this basically, unbounce will send this URL, all the data that we have. So now what we want to go and do is we want to go and map this data, just pop in medium content. Just normally put the same thing. Placements. Another reason why I'm showing you how to do it with a catch hook in Zapier is because if you just did it in Zapier with just an unbound start, and and then you're doing it to like a niche CRM or something like that, you're not going to be able to do that via an app in Zapier. So you have to learn all this stuff anyway. So it's just good to know. So we've got the catch in there. We've added in the kind of like the field to map. So that looks all good. Done. So I'm going to go and we published it. So basically what I want to go and do now is I want to go and press F5 on this. So now in the back end, it should all be catching. So I'm going to put in a test.com and press submit. And that has now been submitted. So I just want to go to leads just to double check it's been submitted. Okay, cool. That has been. And you can check here all the details that it's got. You can see that it's collected all of the hidden fields as well, which is cool. You can also see how this went. So it should have been fine. I've done this. As you can see, it's sent through a lot of data, which is cool. But that's just so I can go and test the trigger here. Now, this is how we're going to set up the catch hook. So what I'm doing is I'm basically hooking the data from Unbounce into a Google Sheet right now. And this is where the power comes in. So you can add a CRM to this as well, or a lead distribution software like Leadbyte or something like that. But what I like doing is I like sending this all to a sheet so I can visibly see what's going on basically. So you've got the test thing here, which is good. So I'm going to press continue. And now what we're going to do is we've got the Google Sheet. We're going to set up the action. So I've already got it set up to my pivot table template to show you. I think I've used this in another video before. And you want to fill out everything that you've got from there. So the dates is all good. So all of this, it doesn't matter. And this is for another offer. So we just ignore that. Country. That's also something you can bring through from Unbounce, but we'll go over that another time. IP, to get the IP address, we've just got to see what kind of information we get from this. That's everything that we can get through from this catch hook. So it catches all that information in the catch hook, which is cool. And then we can kind of use that to send on. And if we just want to press test and continue, publish as that, publish and turn on. And then we can go and test again. Oh, what's it? So let's just change these over. Let's say campaign 2, add set 2, add 2. Yeah, all good. Cool. So then we can go on and carry on. So as you see, it's collected the correct information again. Press forward, exit to redirect. Come through there. Flex. And that's been submitted. Now let's go and see. I believe it's gone into this one here. Let's have a look. So see, I've already got a lot of data, fake data in here just to show you, but just to show you. So you can see the test one went through, which was what I pushed through during Zapier. And also, the Graham one went through as well. So we can go along. So that's brought through the correct date, the IP address, and here you can see that it's bringing through your ad parameters. Now this is where the real benefit comes. Ignore these other ones. This is where the real benefit comes. Okay, so you can bring through a lead price as well. So in that Zapier, say you're running these leads and you want to give it a lead price, you can go and set up action, and you can go and put a lead price in. So let's say it's 45. Continue, publish. So that will now bring through 45 here. And you just want to make sure it's coming in the right place. So placement. Cool. That's all good. So just to show you how this sheet works, so we have a pivot table. So if you wanted to see how your thing's working, we can go, first I'm just going to add one here. I'm going to give this each one just so it has a number, a numeric value. Let's just do that. Cool. And again, we'll just need to update this. You quickly go into setup action. I'll just refresh the fields. Good. And just add the number 1 in. So each time that a lead comes in, it will just give it a value of 1. And that is so we can decipher it in here. Cool. So this is some of leads. So you can see here how many leads each ad has got in your date range, which is in filters. So you can change this. This is your filter. So say you clear, say you just want to see the 21st. Press OK, and that will just show you how many ads you got on that date. So this is really, really good for analyzing your data and finding out which ads are doing the best. Obviously, ad 1's getting you most in. You can go and add in lead price as well, which kind of tells you how much your ad is making in terms of the monetary value, which is pretty cool. And then finally, there's another sheet here, which is called converted. So you can type in this. Now I've set up all of these what's called equations, so it can bring me through all this data here, so it can tell you where your campaign, your ad set, your ad name, and your traffic source, where they're converted. And then you can start to look at where your conversions are coming from for the customer, the actual people who turn into customers. So you can do conversions, and then you can pop in ad name. So you can see yes is 1 for ad 1. Just have a quick look. Sorry. So you got to make sure you pull down this thing here. So as you can see, we've got a yes in there. If you pull this equation down, it basically finds it in the converted column and puts a yes next to it. And that's how you can kind of see where the ad is coming from. So as you can see, ad 1's got 1, ad 2's got 1. So yeah, that is the power of sorting out your UTMs correctly and bringing it through into a sheet. You can add on in this Zap your CRM, which quite easily. If you're not unsure about that, again, comment below and we can help you out. Okay, cheers guys. That's it from me. Again, if you have any questions, pop it below and I'll get back to you. All right, cheers guys.
All right, so I really hope you've enjoyed our video today on how to use UTM parameters to double the quality of your leads. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button so we know to create more videos like this. If you've got any comments at all for Graham or myself, please comment in the comment box below. And finally, please subscribe so you'll be the first to know whenever there's new content created from us over here at Flexxable. I'll speak to you later.